Best NFL Player from Each Jersey Number Part 4.
Today, we will continue our ongoing series of covering the best player in NFL history to wear each jersey number. In this segment, we will knock out numbers 30 through 39. If your favorite player wore numbers 0 through 29, check out the previous 3 videos on the subject. Up first is a running back that many believed would not amount to much when he entered the league. 1. Number 30, Terrell Davis. Terrell Davis is one of the greatest draft picks of all time when it comes to value. He joined the league as the 196th overall pick of the 1995 NFL Draft, selected by the Denver Broncos, where he spent the entirety of his 7-year career. In that time, he was named to the Pro Bowl 3 times, the All-Pro Team 3 times, won 2 Super Bowl titles, 1 Super Bowl MVP award, the 1998 MVP award, 2 Offensive Player of the Year awards, made the Hall of Fame All-1990s team, and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2017. He retired with a very impressive 7,607 yards and 60 touchdowns on the ground, along with an additional 1,280 yards and 5 touchdowns as a pass catcher over his relatively short 7-year stretch in the league. Due to him having a much shorter career than some of the other legends at the position, his all-time statistical rankings are a bit deceiving of just how talented of a back he was. He currently ranks 54th all-time in career rushing touchdowns, 54th in rushing yards, and 3rd in rushing yards per game. This next player is another Hall of Fame caliber running back. 2. Number 31, Jim Taylor. Jim Taylor joined the league as the 15th overall pick of the 1958 NFL Draft, selected by the Green Bay Packers. Along with the Packers, Taylor also spent time playing for the New Orleans Saints during his 10 years in the league. In that time, he was named to the Pro Bowl 5 times, the All-Pro Team once, won 1 Super Bowl title, 4 NFL championships, won the 1962 MVP award, was named to the Hall of Fame All-1960s team, and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1976. Throughout his decade-long career, Taylor picked up 8,597 yards and 83 touchdowns on the ground, along with an additional 1,756 yards and 10 touchdowns as a pass catcher. He currently ranks 41st all-time in career rushing yards, 17th in rushing touchdowns, and 66th in rushing yards per game. Representing number 32 is arguably the greatest running back that the game has ever seen. 3. Number 32, Jim Brown. Despite calling his NFL career shorter than he could to pursue a career as a movie star, Jim Brown is still one of the most talented players in NFL history at the position. He joined the league as the 6th overall pick of the 1957 NFL Draft, selected by the Cleveland Browns, where he would spend the entirety of his 9 years in the league. In that time, he was named to the Pro Bowl 9 times, the All-Pro Team 8 times, won 1 NFL championship, 3 MVP awards, the 1957 Rookie of the Year award, was named to the Hall of Fame All-1960s team, and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1971. Through his near-decade-long career, Brown totaled 12,312 yards and 106 touchdowns on the ground, along with an additional 2,499 yards and 20 touchdowns as a pass catcher. Despite his relatively short career, Brown still currently ranks 11th all-time in career rushing yards, 6th in rushing touchdowns, 1st in rushing yards per game, 28th in yards from scrimmage, and 30th in all-purpose yards. Up next is a very versatile player that spent time playing both quarterback and running back through his Hall of Fame caliber career. 4. Number 33, Sammy Baugh. We likely will never see a player like Sammy Baugh again. He was an extremely gifted athlete who spent nearly half of his career at the tailback position and the other half as a quarterback. He joined the league as the 6th overall pick in the 1937 NFL Draft, selected by the Washington Redskins, where he would spend the entirety of his 16-year career. In that time, he was named to the Pro Bowl 6 times, the All-Pro Team 4 times, won 2 NFL championships, was named to the Hall of Fame All-1940s team, and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1963. Through his extensive career, Baugh would throw for 21,886 yards, 187 touchdowns, and 203 interceptions. While this is a tough-looking touchdown-to-interception ratio, these were great numbers for his era. Along with this, Baugh would pick up an additional 325 yards and 9 touchdowns on the ground. He currently ranks 103rd all-time in career passing yards, 60th in passing touchdowns, and 158th in passer rating. Representing number 34 is another player who has a strong case for being the best running back the game has ever seen. 5. Number 34, Walter Payton. Walter Payton was one of the top talents of all time at the running back position. He was the workhorse for the Chicago Bears through arguably the best run in franchise history. He joined the league as the 4th overall pick of the 1975 NFL Draft, selected by the Bears, where he spent the entirety of his 13-year NFL career. In that time, he was named to the Pro Bowl 9 times, the All-Pro Team 5 times, won 1 Super Bowl title, the 1977 MVP Award, the 1985 and 1977 Offensive Player of the Year Awards. The 1977 Walter Payton Man of the Year Award, was named to the Hall of Fame All-1970s Team, the Hall of Fame All-1980s Team, and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1993. Through his historic career, Payton totaled 16,726 yards and 110 touchdowns on the ground, along with an additional 4,538 yards and 15 touchdowns as a pass catcher. He currently ranks 2nd all-time in career rushing yards, 5th in rushing touchdowns, 5th in rushing touchdowns per game, and 3rd in all-purpose yards. Up next is the first player on the defensive side of the ball in this installment. 6. Number 35, Aeneas Williams. Aeneas Williams was an incredibly talented defensive back. He joined the league as the 59th overall pick of the 1991 NFL Draft, selected by the Phoenix Cardinals. Along with the Cardinals, Williams would also spend time playing for the St. Louis Rams in his 14-year career. In that time, he was named to the Pro Bowl 8 times, the All-Pro Team 3 times, was named to the Hall of Fame All-1990s Team, and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2014. Over his Hall of Fame caliber career, Williams would total 55 interceptions, 9 pick sixes, 8 forced fumbles, 23 fumble recoveries, 3 of which he returned for a touchdown, 793 tackles, and 3 tackles for loss. He currently ranks 9th all-time in career fumbles returned for touchdowns, 20th in interceptions, 5th in pick sixes, and 185th in tackles. Representing number 36 is another era-defining running back. 7. Number 36, Jerome Bettis. Jerome Bettis was a tank at the running back position. His 5 feet 11 inches, 252-pound build made him one of the toughest players to tackle in league history. He began his career as the 10th overall pick of the 1993 NFL Draft, selected by the St. Louis Rams. Along with the Rams, Bettis also spent time playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers throughout his 13 years in the league. In that time, he was named to the Pro Bowl 6 times, the All-Pro Team 2 times, won 1 Super Bowl title, the 1993 Offensive Rookie of the Year Award, the 1993 Rookie of the Year Award, the 1996 Comeback Player of the Year Award, the 2001 Walter Payton Man of the Year Award, and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2015. Bettis retired totaling 13,662 yards and 91 touchdowns on the ground, along with an additional 1,449 yards and 3 touchdowns as a pass catcher. He currently ranks 8th all-time in career rushing yards, 11th in rushing touchdowns, 39th in rushing yards per game, and 37th in all-purpose yards. While the next player on the list still has yet to make the Hall of Fame, he is more than deserving of representing number 37 on this list. 8. Number 37, Rodney Harrison. Rodney Harrison had a Hall of Fame caliber career, and Bill Belichick has referred to him as one of the biggest Hall of Fame snubs of all time. He joined the league as the 145th overall pick of the 1994 NFL Draft, selected by the San Diego Chargers. Along with the Chargers, Harrison also spent time playing for the New England Patriots throughout his 15 years in the league. In that time, he was named to the Pro Bowl 2 times, the All-Pro Team twice, and won 2 Super Bowl titles. He retired with 34 interceptions, 2 pick sixes, 15 forced fumbles, 9 fumble recoveries, 1,206 tackles, 40 tackles for loss, and 10 QB hits. He currently ranks 146th all-time in career interceptions, 33rd in tackles, 147th in forced fumbles, and 127th in passes defended. While time will tell if Harrison will ever get the Hall of Fame nod, he built a resume that has made him more than deserving of a spot in Canton. Up next is another extremely talented player that even played both sides of the ball.
9. Number 38, Arie Herber.
We will never see another player as versatile as Arie Herber again. He spent time playing running back, defensive back, and quarterback. In his 13 years in the league, he would spend time playing for the Green Bay Packers and New York Giants. In that time, he was named to the Pro Bowl one time, the All-Pro team once, won 4 NFL championships, was named to the Hall of Fame All-1930s team, and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1966. While Herber would wear 8 different numbers in his career, he wore 38 from 1935 to 1940 with the Packers. He would retire with passing totals of 8,041 yards, 81 touchdowns, and 106 interceptions, rushing totals of 116 yards and 3 touchdowns, receiving totals of 155 yards and 3 touchdowns, along with 2 interceptions and 3 fumbles on defense. Herber currently ranks 171st in passing touchdowns and 165th in punts blocked. Wrapping up this installment of the Best Player to Wear Each Jersey Number series is one of the top fullbacks that game has ever seen.
10. Number 39, Larry Kasonka.
Larry Kasonka would prove himself as an extremely talented rusher, especially for the fullback position. He joined the league as the 8th overall pick of the 1968 NFL Draft, selected by the Miami Dolphins. Along with the Dolphins, he would also spend time playing for the New York Giants throughout his 11 years in the league. In that time, he was named to the Pro Bowl 5 times, the All-Pro team twice, won 2 Super Bowl titles, 1 Super Bowl MVP, the 1979 Comeback Player of the Year award, and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1987. He retired, recording 8,081 yards and 64 touchdowns on the ground, along with an additional 820 yards and 4 touchdowns on the ground. Kasonka currently ranks 52nd all-time in career rushing yards, 49th in rushing touchdowns, 119th in rushing yards per game, and 165th in yards from scrimmage.